What is up, everybody? Brandon and Chris back here again, and today we wanted to put together a kind of a guide for starting comic books. If you're a newer reader and you're wanting to get into it, you've always been intrigued by comic books. Maybe you didn't really know where to start before. It is kind of confusing. It's a little intimidating because there's so much.
Yeah,
so much.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, there's so much to learn, so much to know. So much to choose from.
It turns a lot of people off.
It does. There's so many characters.
Yeah.
You got your DC, your Marvel. You've got I don't know, everything in between. Today we figured, I don't see very many videos like this, and I don't see very many people telling people, and we get asked a lot because we're bigger into comic books than most people we know, and also having a store with comic books in it, you get that. I don't know what the hell. Sometimes you get people who don't even realize comic books are still being made, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. But yeah, I often get asked, I don't know where to start. This is confusing to me. First, you want to pick something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Usually the go-to thing for people is something like on the Marvel side might be Spider-Man or X-Men or Punisher, something they've seen before. With the rising popularity of superhero movies, we've seen these grow, and we've seen the comic book industry grow more, and more people get interested. It is still very confusing, though, to most people, and it turns, like you said, it turns a lot of people off. The best go-to character, in my opinion, I think you agree, is Batman, and I've seen it multiple times. So we decided today to do a video on Batman and how to get started in Batman Rebirth. That's the current run right now, Rebirth. It's been going since 2016. It is a progression from New 52.
Yeah.
For those who are interested in learning what Rebirth is and how it progressed from New 52 to Rebirth, we do recommend collecting DC Universe Rebirth #1 issue.
Yeah.
It's easy to find. Sometimes you can get
it. And they're cheap. I've seen them for free sometimes.
Yeah.
Like just to get people interested in Rebirth.
I think you can get it for $3 or something.
I'm pretty sure I got it for free.
Yeah.
But I got it back when Rebirth was
pretty new,
first starting.
Well, there's a few different options to getting that. You can go to your comic book shop. You can find it probably on Amazon or eBay or something. But if you really want to get into Rebirth and what that is, I recommend starting there. It's just a small issue that'll tell you kind of how that progressed. If you want to go further than that, and there's actually an omnibus, they call them. It's a big collection of every single #1 one-shot from Rebirth that collects every #1 one-shot issue of every major superhero.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Blue Beetle, even there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Everybody in the DC universe, pretty much major. It's going to give you one shot for that. Today we're just going to focus on Batman. We're not going to do
as we should.
The very first one, like I said, it's the go-to. Most people, we're not going to do the Bat family as a whole yet. If that's something that people want to see, drop a comment in the comment section below. We'll be happy to go through all of them. There's a lot of them there.
There's a lot.
Batman and Robin, Detective Comics, Nightwing,
Batwoman,
Batgirl, so many.
And Nightwing's Dick Grayson is
it's very good.
Agent Grayson.
Yeah,
friggin' awesome.
Very good. And don't let that intimidate you either.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to know what they're doing in their own books to understand what's going on in Batman.
No. They're all going to appear in different issues.
Yeah, they come in and out all the time.
Right, and I think that's important to know. And it's pretty simple, really. Like once you get that Rebirth, like we just discussed, you could basically just start on issue 1 or find a volume 1 of a trade paper. But like I said, we're going to focus on Batman. And what do you think? We've got about three. I don't know. There's about 3 different ways you could really start collecting Batman and really start getting into Batman.
Yeah, you can do single issues, like get on eBay. Amazon's pretty shoddy on their single issues. I wouldn't even try that. But eBay, very, very easy to find the single issues. Yeah. I wouldn't actually recommend that because that would be that's a lot of work looking for all of them.
It is,
and it's also a lot of money when you factor in the like shipping.
Unless you can find lots.
Yeah, unless you can find a lot of it, which sometimes you can.
A lot of times.
Sometimes.
Find them in good shape is one thing, but that's usually you can find them in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, and then you can get the trade papers, which I usually highly recommend because that's my absolute favorite way to read.
I agree.
I get single issues to collect.
Yeah.
Like if there's one that I really like, then I get it to collect it.
Yeah.
But most of the
There's
time,
a lot of cool covers and there's variant issues. Where your collection's at, where your money's at, something that you want to hang on a wall or get signed or whatever. I recommend collecting the single issues.
Oh yes.
I recommend finding those. If you can go to your local comic book shop, you can sign up for pull lists or subscriptions. I really highlight. You can go in there and you can say, "Hey, this is what I want." If you've missed some, like in this case, Batman. It started in 2016, so you're more than likely, unless you can find back issues at a store somewhere somehow, your best option, like he said, is eBay.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you'd want to start if you also want to get into the collecting aspect. Now, if you're just a reader, if you want to keep it simple, and we're going to recommend this before the issues. We just wanted to put that information out there. As a reader, as you being new to the comic book thing, a trade paper is a collection of arcs and series of single issues. So it's basically a bunch of single issues. One, it's better bang for your buck, basically.
Yeah, well, and it's better for reading too.
It's better for reading. You don't have to worry about tearing it and, diminishing your value, because it's something you just get to. You can collect them and they're nice.
Yeah.
They look good on a shelf.
Yep.
They're
cheaper. They're cheaper than single issues.
Absolutely. Now,
but you do have to wait. That's the worst. The worst part about it is you have to wait.
You do
for them to release the trade paper.
Yeah.
But since Rebirth did come out in 2016, there's a good amount of trade papers out already.
I agree. There's a lot of good collections from anything you want. There's a collection of several.
But for Batman Rebirth, I would recommend this book right here.
Yeah, this right here.
Because it collects the first 2 story arcs. Mm-hmm. So you technically get 2 trade papers in one hardcover, and
basically this is and I had mentioned
it's nice.
It is very nice. I had mentioned the Omnibus earlier that collects all the single shot issues, the one shot issues to start Rebirth for each character. More often than not, also though, in the collections of these or trade papers, you'll find the first issue of that for each character. So you can do it one or two ways. This is Batman Rebirth #1 and issues 1 through 15.
Yeah.
So you get a very good assortment of the first part of Batman. And I at this point as a reader, you can do the trade paper route if you prefer trade paper. If you have a smaller shelf that maybe this is a taller book, so I highly recommend this for somebody because it's actually cheaper now.
Yeah.
SRP is actually $34.99. Usually you're going to find a trade paper for around $15, $16 SRP. In a lot of places now you can find it a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah.
A lot cheaper.
Oh yeah.
10, 11, $12 depending on where you go. This here actually right now on you probably find on the internet for around $22 to $25.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
and that's a hell of a value.
A hell of a value.
It's full of really cool art at the back. It has all the variant covers.
Mm-hmm.
It's really badass.
It is very badass.
And
some of the sketch and some of the sketch work and stuff's in the back. The prototypes.
And I always really like that.
Yeah.
You don't get that in single issues.
No, you get that some in trade paper, but
a little bit.
Yeah. But this here, in this particular case, since we're doing Batman, just so you get everything, you don't get just the first 2, volumes.
This is I Am Bane. It just came out.
Yeah, that's volume 3
recently.
But getting the first 2 volumes, which is I Am Gotham and I Am Suicide.
Yes,
so that's volume 1 and 2.
And
let
me tell you something. Okay, I Am Suicide is a masterpiece.
It's a
a masterpiece of comic book writing.
It is. You're right.
I Am Gotham was really good, but once it was really good when you read it, and then you move on to I Am Suicide, and it makes it look like it just wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Just because I Am Suicide is so good.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's kind of hard to go on to anything else because I Am Suicide was that good.
I really enjoyed I Am Gotham. The first one.
I did too.
Because it's one of those things where it started out and I'm like, I don't know about this. I'm not sure. And it got a little bit better and better. And at the end was just, man, it hits you, man. It hits you in the feels. Yeah. It hits you. I mean, it's great.
Yep.
We're gonna have to do a review on those sometimes, but at some point. But yeah, the better bang for my buck, honestly, personally, is this just because it collects Rebirth 1 and 1 through 15. I think that's the best way to go, honestly. I don't know, if you can find this for $22, you're probably going to be
if you get it for MSRP, the trade papers will be a little bit cheaper, like a few dollars.
That'll be your cheaper option.
But if you can find this for $25 or less, it'll be cheaper than buying the trade papers.
Yeah, or even if
you'll get a better deal.
Even if it's the same price, it's a better quality deal. It's a better deal. You just have to make sure you have space for it.
Hardcover's always better.
Oh, absolutely.
Always.
I mean, as far as what you get, yes. Yeah, it just really depends on who you are. That's different options, you know. I Am Gotham was great. I Am Suicide was great. Those are your first two. Going on from there, like he mentioned, Volume 3 is I Am Bane.
Yeah.
And then Volume 4 is already out too. It's the War on Jokes and Riddles.
Yep.
That's where you want to go, and that'll get you into Batman. That'll get you started. That's just Batman. There's so much more out there, but I think that's your best option.
That's a very good start, though.
Absolutely, very good start.
2016. It's been long enough now that there's a good amount out.
I agree. Yeah,
but it's not so old that you're playing catch up. Like if we came on here and we said, you know, oh well, you should start at New 52 because everything that happened in New 52, it's still relevant in Rebirth.
I mean, it's still technically New 52.
But if you went that far back, you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you do.
And especially, like, you know, I know some people are really interested in Batman now because of the Dark Knight's Metal.
The Dark Knight Metal
comic books.
Yeah.
And they are very intriguing because they're friggin' awesome. I mean, the art's amazing. Mm-hmm. The story's really cool. Mm-hmm. But if you started at New 52 and then tried to make it to Dark Knight's Metal, I mean that's a shit ton of reading.
It is,
and it's a lot of money too.
And honestly, it just depends on who you are. I think when we talked about it a little bit earlier, there's different kinds of fans out there. There's different kinds of readers.
Sure.
If you are somebody who used to read comics and you read a little New 52 but you've got out of it and you don't know where to start. Obviously, this is your trend, but you obviously probably know that by now.
Yeah. The
ones who have never been into comics, it may not be as easy for you, honestly, as we're trying to make it out to be. Because believe me, we were in your shoes not that long ago. I wasn't anyway. He's been in a little bit longer than I have even. It is confusing and it is intimidating. I wouldn't, just to tell those people out there that may watch this that have never read a comic or very, very new, maybe read a comic when they were kids or something, but never collected and wanted to maybe try it. Trust me, number one, it is worth it. If you like reading at all, these are some of the best stories, the best thing, like the art. This is truly masterpiece. These are works of art. All comic books are.
You'll never find a story in a movie or TV or anything like that will come close to a
Some
comic
are
book.
Stupid, but these, man, especially on the DC side now, and we are DC fanboys, but they, for good reason, they have amazing stories. And if you like good stories and you are interested in superheroes and stuff like that, this is stuff you won't even believe.
Yeah.
I mean, you really won't. You think that comic books are for kids or whatever. It's not it at all. And this is some of the best art and some of the best work you'll ever see out of it. And it's amazing how much you learn and you grow to appreciate everything.
Yeah.
Art, ink, color, story, everything.
Editors.
It's amazing. And the second thing is, don't worry about starting at New 52. Don't worry about starting, in 1920 or whatever. That's insane. There's been so many different versions of people like Batman. It's just not realistic to do that. There's things that you will learn as you grow as a comic book fan that you will go back and somebody will suggest, like The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
That's a special
Well,
book.
see, that's what I was going to say. I was going to let you finish,
got one
but
right here, actually.
I was going to let you say, anytime someone would ask me where they should start, I used to always say one-offs.
One-offs,
The Killing Joke is probably, if you got a strong stomach and a little lower on the moral high ground.
Or if you could just get through something that's very intense.
It's
very dark.
Oh my God, it's such a good story.
It's a dark.
And
dark
there's The Killing Joke. There's Batman Hush. Oh my God,
Hush is amazing.
Batman Hush is amazing.
The Long Halloween is amazing.
Yes. There's another thing I was going to mention. If you can still get it, I don't know I don't know if you could get it at the store, or if any other comic book store could get it. Maybe on Amazon or eBay. But I have the 75th anniversary collection of Batman, and it has.
I can get Superman. I'm pretty sure I might be able to get Batman.
It's got 3. It's got Hush. It's got oh shoot, what's it got? It's got the Dark Knight.
I knew you told me it was the Dark Knight, and Hush, and
it has the Court of Owls, which is Scott Snyder, my favorite Batman writer. That was his first arc for New 52.
Well, and that was actually actually the first New 52 Batman.
Yes.
So anybody who wants to know what the first New 52 was, that was the Court of Owls,
which it was wild too.
It's great.
And it has the Dark Knight Returns, and it has Hush, and that's a very good value for what you get.
Yeah. And they have simple comic book reading orders too on the internet. Like you can Google comic book reading orders.
This type of stuff here, this is what I used to recommend to people when they would ask where to start.
I would. That's how I recommend comic books to people who are just looking to get into comic books. Period.
Yeah.
A lot of times, look for graphic novels that are one shots, like one-offs. You don't necessarily have to start into a middle of an arc in a comic book. Like, find a graphic novel.
Well, that's I used to recommend these, but since Rebirth is so new, but it also has a substantial amount of content, I would recommend Rebirth over one-shots.
Well, I think since it's
for right now.
Well, I think since it's so new and since
it's still going.
It's still going.
There's always something fresh.
Right. And I think that it's okay to jump on in Rebirth. It's okay. There's always going to be a spot where people can just jump on and then relearn little things here and there as they go along about the past.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Don't get yourself hung up on things from the past so much. Just like take our recommendations or other people's recommendations you may hear and just jump in at a certain point and then go, this is the perfect, since it was just 2016, it was just a little over a year ago when this all this shit launched, a year and a half ago. This is what you want. There's, like I said, they haven't even come out with Volume 5 yet. They're getting ready to come out with Volume 5 of Batman. So it's like you're not very far into it. There was 10 volumes of New 52 Batman. Yeah. And then that was before it switched to Rebirth. So we don't know if there's going to be another change. Hopefully not anytime soon.
I hope
you never know. So
I like the way this is going.
I do too. I like Rebirth a lot. So
and there's another deluxe edition coming out in June if you can wait that long. Like if you get the first deluxe edition and you can wait till June to get the second deluxe edition, that will collect I Am Bane and the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yes, which are very good books.
So
and Batman Annual #1.
Yeah.
So and Batman Annual #2 just come out. So that's something. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be a little behind, but if you can just wait, you're going to get better bang for your buck. So it's really just how you want to do it. And then maybe you want to get caught up, read it, and then maybe you want to do your single issues after that. That's what I've been doing. Then that's been perfect.
Yeah,
I think it's great. And I mean it's intimidating, but it's not as hard as people would think. So
yeah, it's only as hard as you make it.
Really, it is. It really is. It often, just like with me, I did the same thing. Your mind gets in the way of all of it. Yep. Just like starting anything new like this, your mind gets in the way. You think it's bigger than it is, and you just need somebody to help and guide, and that's what we wanted to do. We plan on doing more in these. We want to do Superman. We're going to do. We might actually. I don't know. We might actually do the Bat Family and stuff like that first too.
I love the Bat Family. I could do the Bat Family all the time.
Well, yeah, the Bat Family really, in our opinion, is probably the best way to go, and it's probably some of the better stories for the most part. Flash has been pretty good this time around too. The Button was awesome for instance. That's a Batman Flash crossover, and that leads into the new Doomsday Clock, which just released. that's something that's something for another time.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of information even that we've given out here. Maybe it's something hard to take in, but it's really not. Trade paper volume 1 and 2 of Batman, Rebirth number 1. However you want to go about it, I recommend Rebirth number 1 issue just so you can see
what's going
progression
on
from New 52. That way you kind of understand a little better, and then jump right into this. If you can find this cheap, do it. That's what you want to do. If you want to see any more of these, or if you want to see the rest of Bat Family, let us know in the comments below. If you liked it, let us know in the comments below. This is it for us. Hopefully this helps, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.